Hey everybody, thank you for joining. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mino, and today we are jumping into more Stranded Alien Dawn. I want to thank everybody for the support I got on the Trading Outpost scenario. I had a lot of fun doing that, but with our settings, we didn't have any of the bug attacks, so we really didn't get a chance to look at any of the combat, and so I think some of the game kind of got glossed over. I'd like to do a standard run to make sure that we got that covered. And also, I don't think that consoles are going to have mods. I know this game is coming to PlayStation and Xbox, but I don't think mods are going to be available. So we're going to do a mod-free, plain Jane run on the first and probably the most balanced scenario, the crash landing scenario, because that's the one they've had the most time to develop. So we're going to do that. Now, when we think about our seed, though, this is where we got to get fun. Now, we're going to crash land on a hostile planet. There will be things trying to kill us, and we're going to be surrounded by people we don't like. For the most part, as you've seen in the Trading Outpost playthrough, they tend not to like each other. So there's going to be a lot of infighting, and the main point is to escape. So the epitome of this situation, I think, is Charlie Sheen in Platoon. There we go. Let's see what that turns out like. We will play with game rules. Now, this is available in the standard game, so console players, you can have access to all of this. The only thing we're going to do is Big Family. I'm going to do that mainly because I want to find more survivors. We're only going to start with 4. That is cumbersome to try to build a base with sometimes, especially with bug attacks going on. So I want Big Family. There we go. Yeah, let's rock and roll and see what happens. Okay, so this time we get to pick 4 survivors. And we got to be a lot more careful about it. The goal is to get more people, but those people are going to be random. There's a trick to that. I'll show you when we get into it. But for now, we got to have a really strong starting crew. Let's see. Okay, so first we're going to take Nova. I'm taking her because of the high combat skill. She's going to be our fighter. She's also a healer level 5. Now, this is that map that has the sleep parasite that I was talking about in the Trading Outpost. We lucked out and didn't catch it then, but that doesn't mean this seed won't have it. So that's going to be our healer. She's also decent at physical, so she can cart stuff around. Yeah, she's decent. We're taking Vivian. We've talked about her, clothes. We're going to take Lyra, however you pronounce it, as our farmer, primarily because of the harvest and plant seeds twice as fast and the 25% movement and manipulation efficiency. Now, the movement, not the biggest thing with her because her physical is low. That can be built up, but we don't want to use her for that. Handling. The handling thing with replacing torches and filling heating stoves and cooking stoves and all that, that is manipulation. That is faster with her. So in the winter, she's still handy. I like her. Now, last but not least, Raka. I don't like Raka. He is a pain to deal with on a social level. Permanently decreased happiness. But he builds things quick. And he's interested in building things, so as long as you keep him either crafting or constructing, he tends not to have a meltdown. So we're just going to have to babysit him and see what we can do. And that's 4. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so we're starting out paused. Somebody's always having a meltdown right up front, and this time, no surprise, it is Raka. Mr. Cheerful himself. Anyway, as you can tell from the Trading Outpost difference, we don't have nearly the supplies we used to. And last time I played, it was around every 8 to 10 days there would be a bug attack. You know, day 9-ish, day 18-ish, yeah, somewhere around there. So we have about a week to get things ready if they're still following the same schedule. I'm assuming they are. We'll find out soon enough. Let's cut down some trees and some bushes and some blade grass. Yep, there's some blade grass. Cut that. Yeah, and observe the tall leafy plant. Yeah, that's going to be wheat. And I thought, yep, see the squash-like plant for the buttermelon. So that's going to be the basics, but we are setting up the task a little bit differently. That's not going to get studied right away because we have different priorities right now. What we're going to do is that right there. Alright, I know that makes no sense right now, but it will in a second. Let's let them start cutting stuff down so that we can get our plans. They're cutting so that we can build shelters. See, we can't even plan that until they've cut some stuff. Oh, we're also going to need to mine some rock. That's enough. Do it to it, fellas. Oh, so you're going to try to calm Rocka down. Vivian's a good girl. Thank you. Oh, yeah, and more ships are crashing. That's right. Yeah, more ships crashed there for a minute. Space debris. That's good stuff, and we're going to be using that in a minute. First, yeah, these guys got to get to work so that we can get started. Choppity chop. So they've choppity chopped, and we can now make our plans for a shelter, which we'll do here in just a second. So now, if you guys are lactose intolerant, you should probably turn away now. Kind of fast forward about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, because we're going to be throwing some cheese down. I'm going to teach you guys how to cheese the RNG here. Okay, first thing we've got to do is locate our spaceship debris. We want to find the ones that are closest to our base, and so that is obviously one. We've got our landing pod there. Now each one of these will give you 6 salvage opportunities, except for your landing pod, which will give you 10. So take advantage. See, we want to activate 4 of them. That'll do it. And see, now there's 4 folks, so guess what's going to happen? They are all going to salvage. Seems like a bit of a waste of time. But as soon as they finish their first one, I'm going to show you why that's cool. Okay, so Nova's finishing up. Now watch this. There we go. Okay, so she got synthetic textiles, right? Well, she got synthetic textiles because it was 1,300 hours. Now, what's odd is the RNG of those salvages are all based on what hour the salvage happens and what ship it is. So, with some diligent saving and loading, you can adjust what you get. Sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's a gun, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's medicine. It can be all kinds of stuff. And if you're patient and you want to save and load and just monitor these guys, you can really cheese the system. Now, to get them to stop, all you have to do is draft them. So, see, she's going to be in the middle of doing something, say Vivian. Say I'm not happy with her 1,300 salvage. I can just draft her, move her over here, wait for that hour to tick by, undraft her, and she'll just go right back to salvage. And then that way, you've changed what she rolled. And you can do this for all these people. It's like little roulette machines rolling for you, and it'll make these numbers climb. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything like that, but I'm thinking a good base spot's going to be right about over here. And assuming this is a good base spot, and I can plan my base, we can kind of see what happens with this. And if these numbers change too much, then I'll just tuck that under your hat, you know, stick it down, keep an eye on it, and we're just going to move forward with the idea that the system is working as intended. So I'm going to plant a base, and I'm going to see you guys in just a little bit. Alright. And here's what I came up with. Nice and simple. There's some stockpiles for the construction materials, some storage shelves for everything else, a little sleeping area. This is where they can eat, and cook stove is going to be right there. And this little work area for the research desk and workbench, and then we can put the tailoring bench right over here when we have that going. So nice little startup camp. We're going to let them get that built, and then it looks like we got plenty to scavenge, plenty to cut, plenty to research, plenty to all kinds of stuff. But our main goal right up front, and thankfully there is grain cob here to do that with, is to get liquid fuel going. In this particular scenario, we want to get to long distance travel as fast as possible. I'll explain once we get there, but that's where we're going. Here we go. These guys are wanting to celebrate. Cause for celebration. Yeah, that's a great idea. They want to celebrate tonight around the campfire. Let's let them do that. That'll cheer them up. They could use as well. Actually, in pretty good moods right now. But you know, happier never hurts. So we did discover grain cob, which is awesome. So we can start harvesting that stuff pretty soon. Ooh, looks like there's some we can already harvest. Just one. One's all we need. If we can harvest some grain, we can open up a research tree into oil extraction. That we've got to get so that we can get to liquid fuel. Liquid fuel is what we need so that we can do long distance travel. So we've got a bit of research to do, and we have got to get to it a lot quicker than we did in our last playthrough. So let's let them finish this so we can get to it. Looks like our basic base is built, so it is time to go ahead and get the research started. Metal refinement we're going to need, oil extraction we're going to need. So we need to get on that. Raka, I don't care what you're doing. You're researching that now. Sweet. So we're going to get that research going, and oh, Vivian's going to observe the squash plant. Perfect. Once we get the squash plant observed, I think we'll be able to start our first farm up and start getting these guys fed. We don't have nearly the rations or anything that we started out with in the other scenario, so it's going to be a lot tighter. And we're going to have to use some of the food that's sitting around here, and maybe shoot us a few animules and get us meat. Hope it doesn't come down to that, but it may. Alright, let's see what these guys can pull off. Oh, look at this. We've got some squash plants. So as soon as she's observed these, that's already some food we can snag. Good stuff. Aren't they a happy crew? And while they're having breakfast, I thought I'd point out there were some rumbles of thunder overnight. Nothing happened, but I heard thunder. So this area is probably prone to storms. We're going to add in those lightning rods. Those are quick to research, and we're going to need that. We're also going to need weaponsmithing a lot earlier this time. I'm going to try to get through long distance travel before we get to that, but I don't know if that will be possible. We did start with a couple of weapons from the drop, so let's see what we can do. And Raka is done with his research, so we are... Oh, and some more medkits. We are going to do some building of lightning rods. Yeah. Let's just pop one right there, and that covers everybody. Yeah. Oh, that makes that easy. Super fantastic. Can we harvest it? Yeah. Ooh, look at all that grain cob. We're going to go ahead and start harvesting that up. Still not researched. 40%. Alright, it's already 1,800 hours, so tomorrow, guaranteed, we're going to have somebody study up that squash-like plant right there so that we can have our melons. Oh, look at that. See? I did good. We're going to get these guys some food off the land and get them started cooking before anything really bad starts happening. Alright. Nighty-night, fellas. Okay, it is morning. They're doing their thing just fine and dandy, but I realize I ran out of research and Raka is about to run off scavenging some more. We need more research. Now, we don't have our fuel mixing yet because we haven't produced oils yet. That's what this is for. And we need 20 grain to make it. We have 50. Yeah, because Laura is out harvesting, isn't she? She is. So we're going to have some grain out here we can do. Let's just do that. We need 3 to make the fuel we need for the balloon. Let's do 6 so we have the balloon full and a refill. There we go. Raka, change what you're doing and do that instead. Sweet. Can we get these yet? We can. A couple of them. Let's go get some more of these grain cob here. Oh, we can get a lot of those. And when she's done researching, we're going to snag some of these too. And then we'll start making some food. This is more food, but we'll deal with that later. Perfect. Now that Raka has done that, we have access to fuel mixing. Now we can make fuel. For long distance travel, we have to have made fuel. See how that works? So, yeah, that's the goal. We're going to let them harvest and continue on what they're doing. It really has not been all that long. Okay, I'll see you guys this evening. Okay, so we are creeping up into the evening. Quite a nice little night we've got going on. We have some food now. It looks like we have one set of buttermelon, or yeah, one. But it's enough to get things started in queue. Quick recipes, veggie soup until there is 4. And Vivian can use the our new food over there for that. We're going to let Laura finish harvesting this. It looks like fuel research still has a little bit to go. But as soon as that's done, we'll be all set to get long-distance travel researched and build a balloon. So I think I'm going to call the episode here. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. When we get back, we're going to have all the research done for the balloon, and we're going to get that going as quickly as possible. You'll know why when it comes to episode 2. I'll see you there.